Hello and welcome to Salesforce Helper. Today I'm going to show you how to create a quick action button that triggers a screen flow that then creates a record on an object, and we're going to update a field where the button was clicked. So let's just go into here, into the account. I'll show you what I'm going to do. So if I go into this account here, go into the details, I have something called test object created date. So what I'm going to do is create a button here for a quick action, which when I'm going to click this will go into a screen flow. It will then create a record on the test object. And once that is done, the flow will come into the account and add the date that that record was created. So first of all, what you have to do is go into the setup, search for flow, and click new flow. What you want to pick here is screen flow and click create. So the first thing that you need to do is create a variable for the record ID from the account to be stored. So if you go into the panel on the side and click new resource and click variable, and this is quite important, what you have to call it is record, all lowercase, capital I, lowercase d. It has to be this way for the flow to recognize the ID coming into the variable. Click text. I always click available for input. Because the input is coming from the record, you have to tick available for input and click done. Then we're going to get record, and we're going to get the account using the variable that we have just created. So account, go ID, and then the variable. So what that is going to do is when you click the button on the quick action on the account, it sends the variable to the get record ID and it gets the account record. Now what we want to do is create a screen flow. So you can call your screen flow what you wish. And then you need to start adding in the fields that you want to be populated. So I'm just going to bring in a text area, call it name. And that's all I'm going to do for now, just to show you how to make this. So what I'm doing is creating a record. I'm asking for the record name, and then I'll carry on with the rest. So what I want to do now is get an element of create record. And I'm going to call it create test object. Then what I want to do is use separate resources and search for the object that I want to create. I've found my test object. And then what I want to do is I want to click the field that I want to update. You could have multiples, and then you just have to match it with the screen components. So from the screen component, I had a text field and I called it name. And that variable in that screen is going to populate the name on the test object when it creates the record. So I click done. So what it's doing here is you click the button, it gets the account that you're clicking the button from, then it goes into a screen flow and asks you to populate the fields that you wish to update. Then it goes and creates the records on the object that you wish, and from this screen you map to the object fields what you want to populate. And then what we're going to do here is go back into the account and put a date that this record was created. So we're going to go update record because we're going to update the account, and we're just going to call this update account. And we're going to specify the conditions. So we're going to tell it which object to update, which is the account. We're going to pick the ID, and we're going to pick the variable again, because that's what has the account ID. Then we're going to search for the field that we want to update, which is the test object created date. Now, what we want to do is put today's date in there. So we can do that by using a variable, a formula, call it today, pick date, and then put today brackets. This will bring through today's date, and press OK. So what we're doing here is we're updating the account, telling it look for the ID of the record ID, and then update this field with today's date, and click done. So now we have our flow that creates a record and updates the account. So we just need to save that. Account creates object. You could put a description. You should always put a description. So this will create a new record on the test object and update a field on the account. So what's important is you have to activate this, because when you're creating the quick action, if it's not activated, you can't select the flow in the quick action if it's not activated. So now what we want to do is go back to the home settings and go to Object Manager and go into the account. And we want to pick buttons, links, and actions. When in here, on the right-hand side, you've got a new action button. Click that. And what we want to pick is flow. And this is where you can pick from the flows that will trigger from the action. And like I said, now we can pick the account create test object because it is active. Give your quick action a name. So this will be the name that appears on the button. Just going to call it create test record and click save. So that is your quick action created, and it's linked to your flow. So now we need to put the button on the account object. So let's go into the Object Manager, click Account. You want to click on Lightning Record Page, pick your Lightning Record Page. If you haven't got one, click New and create one. Go to Edit that record page. And here's where we're going to add in the quick action button. So you want to click on the header and scroll down. And sorry, if it hasn't been upgraded to the dynamic actions, upgrade now. I'm going to choose to migrate. You can start from scratch and choose my layout. So here it shows me all the actions that are available, and it tells you how many you're displaying. So what we want to do is add in our new action. So if you scroll down here, you can see your quick actions, create test records, and click done. We want to bring that up. Right up to the top to just before file, and there you can see create test record. If you change this number, it shows more of the actions, and you can also get rid of these. So we just want to click save. And then what we want to do is test it. So if we refresh here, we now have our create test record button. If we click that, and we just give it a name of hello and click next, what it's done is put today's date in there, which is great. That's what we wanted the flow to do. And it has created a record of the test object. And if we just go look for that record and review all, here is our record that we created with the flow. Thank you for watching.